Sonia Sharma was a 23-year-old girl living with her family in the busy locality of Nangloi, Delhi. She was known for her calm nature and sharp focus on studies. Her neighbors described her as polite, disciplined, and mostly reserved. While many girls her age were active on social media and spent time hanging out with friends, Sonia stayed indoors, often seen reading or working on her laptop. She was pursuing a journalism degree from a nearby college and had always dreamed of becoming a news anchor. Her parents were proud of her and placed great trust in her decisions. Everything seemed normal on the surface. What no one knew was that Sonia had been living a double life, one that existed only behind a screen. Late at night, after her family had gone to bed, Sonia would unlock her phone and log into a private chat app where she spoke to someone she had never met in person. His name was Aryan, and according to him, he was a struggling artist living alone in Gurugram. He always said the right things, praised her ambitions, comforted her during tough days, and gave her the emotional support she felt was missing. Sonia fell for him deeply, even though she had never seen his real face. Aryan never video called, always avoided voice messages, and said he didn't like social media. Despite the red flags, Sonia's emotional attachment grew stronger. She began sharing things she never told anyone else. Over time, Aryan's influence over her increased. He started becoming possessive, asking her not to talk to male classmates, and suggesting that her family wouldn't understand their relationship. Sonia, lost in emotions, began to believe him. Unknowingly, she was being pulled into a trap. A trap carefully designed for someone just like her. On the morning of June 12, Sonia left her house wearing a plain blue kurta and carrying a small backpack. She told her mother she was going to a friend's place to collect notes for an upcoming exam. It was an ordinary excuse, and no one suspected anything unusual. Hours passed, and when she didn't return by evening, her mother began to worry. Repeated calls to Sonia's number went unanswered. By night, her phone was switched off. Her father visited the friend's house Sonia had mentioned, only to be told that no such meeting had been planned. That's when panic set in. The next day, Sonia's parents went to the local police station and filed a missing person report. Flyers with her picture were printed and distributed in the neighborhood. Friends, college mates, and neighbors joined the search. Still, no one had any clue where she had gone. CCTV footage from nearby streets was collected, but the last confirmed sighting showed her walking alone toward the Nangloi metro station. After that, she vanished. The investigation moved slowly at first. Police assumed it might be a case of elopement or voluntary disappearance. But Sonia's clean record, her strong academic focus, and lack of conflict at home didn't support that theory. Her WhatsApp status hadn't changed, and her phone remained unreachable. There were no withdrawals from her bank account. Her social media accounts were untouched. It was as if she had disappeared into thin air. Then came a breakthrough. A team tracking mobile tower pings located her last known signal on the outskirts of Najafgarh, far from her usual route. The area was mostly deserted, filled with old warehouses and half-constructed buildings. Police followed the signal trail and reached a small abandoned house. What they found inside would change everything. Inside the abandoned house on the edge of Najafgarh, the police found a disturbing scene. The air was thick with dust, the windows were broken, and the place looked like it hadn't been used in years. But in one of the rooms, there was a thin mattress on the floor with dark stains that appeared to be blood. Next to it lay a plastic bag containing women's clothes, a half-burnt scarf, and Sonia's college ID card. In the corner, her phone's shattered back cover was found. Though there was still no sign of Sonia herself, the evidence strongly suggested foul play. The case was now classified as a suspected homicide. Police turned their focus towards Sonia's digital activity in the days before she disappeared. With help from cybercrime experts, they uncovered a hidden messaging app on her phone's backup. In it were long conversations with someone named Aryan. The chats went back several months and showed a deep emotional bond. However, Aryan had no identifiable photo, no linked phone number, and used a fake email address. One image in the chat stood out, a train ticket Aryan had once sent to prove his identity. It displayed a partial name, Rahul Mayer. Investigators searched criminal records and found that Rahul had previously served time in jail for violent assault. After his release, he had vanished from the radar. A background check showed that Rahul was now using a fake name and living in a rented flat in Uttam Nagar. A police team raided the location and found several fake SIM cards, wigs, women's personal items, and a notebook with a list of girls' names. Sonia's name was the most recent. Rahul was arrested at the scene. The horrifying truth behind Aryan's identity was finally uncovered, but Sonia was still missing. After Rahul Meher's arrest, investigators began piecing together how he had manipulated Sonia so deeply. His online identity as Aryan was just one layer of the deception. Forensic experts discovered that Rahul had been operating multiple fake profiles, each designed to serve a different purpose. One of those profiles belonged to someone named Ria, a supposed female friend who Sonia had trusted completely. Ria had regularly advised Sonia in her chats, encouraging her to follow her heart and meet Aryan in person. Ria had acted like a sister, offering emotional support and guiding Sonia into believing that Aryan was genuinely in love with her. But Ria, too, was Rahul. The police traced Ria's messages and found they were sent from the same IP address as Aryan's. This meant that Rahul had been controlling both ends of the emotional exchange. He played the lover and the best friend, creating an illusion of safety and love. Sonia believed that someone else had validated her relationship, making it easier for her to trust Aryan blindly. She had been psychologically trapped, with no way of knowing that both identities belonged to the same man. Further investigation revealed that Rahul had done this before. 3 other girls had also been contacted by both Aryan and Ria, but they had backed off in time. Sonia, however, had been the perfect target, trusting, isolated, and emotionally vulnerable. In custody, Rahul confessed that Sonia had threatened to leave him after she discovered inconsistencies in his story. Fearing exposure and rejection, he lured her to the abandoned house with promises of truth and reconciliation. What followed was a premeditated crime. Though Rahul was behind bars, the biggest question remained unanswered: where was Sonia's body? The case was far from over, and the final truth was still buried. 2 months after Rahul Meher's arrest, the investigation reached a dead end. With no body recovered, the case remained incomplete, leaving Sonia's family trapped in a painful limbo. Then, one afternoon, a group of children playing near an under-construction plot in Bahadurgarh stumbled upon something unusual: what looked like human bones wrapped in layers of plastic and cloth. Police were immediately called, and forensic experts were brought to the site. DNA testing confirmed what everyone had feared. The remains were of Sonia Sharma. The site was barely 7 kilometers from the abandoned house where Sonia was last traced. Rahul had buried her there the same night he committed the murder. A post-mortem report revealed she had suffered blunt force trauma to the head before being strangled. The brutality of the crime shocked even the most experienced officers. What made it worse was the chilling planning behind it. Rahul had not acted in rage, he had acted with calculation. Rahul was formally charged with kidnapping, identity fraud, psychological manipulation, and murder. In court, his behavior remained cold and emotionless. He showed no regret, no sorrow. The judge called the crime an act of deception carried out with cruel intelligence. Rahul was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Sonia's parents never fully recovered from the loss. Their once lively home turned silent, filled with memories and unanswered questions. Sonia had trusted someone who never even existed. She had fallen into a web of lies, carefully designed to trap her emotions. Her story became a cautionary tale across Delhi, warning young people about the dangers of online relationships and blind trust. The Sonia Nangloi case remains one of the most disturbing examples of betrayal, manipulation, and murder, where love was nothing more than a weapon and trust became a death sentence.